Welcome back to the Core Cars News Tech Lab. Today we're taking a look at the top 10 free Roku channels for 2019. Now this is my personal list of the top 10 Roku channels I think you should try out. Now there's so many, it was very hard to pick this list, and they're in no particular order. So I left something out, doesn't mean it's not a good Roku channel, and if it's shown earlier in the list than later, doesn't mean it's any better than anything else on this list. Just my opinion on 10 100% free Roku channels you should try out, or ones that have a ton of Roku or free content on it, or represent ones that do have a ton of free content on it you should check out. Hey, if you're new here though, and you want to learn more about Roku players or cord cutting in general, or Fire TV, Apple TV, and more, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, it really does help us. We cover the world of cord cutting, streaming devices, and more. Perfect for people who still have cable, who own a Roku, or people who want to get rid of their overpriced cable bill. Well, let's dive into the top 10 free Roku channels of 2019. Now, right off the bat, you have to start with the Roku channel. This is owned by Roku themselves. It takes free content from around the web, puts it in a single place that's ad supported, and it does a really great job. Now, when this first launched, it was exclusively on-demand content, like Hugo would be here, or Little Women, and more. Now they also have live content and catalog of different content. So they have a ton of news now, 100% live streaming, ABC News, Yahoo, Newsmax, Nosey, Cheddar, and more. Tons of sports ones now, including Stadium, entertainment stuff, including TMZ, all 100% free with this. And on top of that, of course, you get all the movies and TV shows you would have had originally with them. They even have a Christmas section with like Yule logs and stuff. Pre-recording this just before the end of the new year, so this is still up here. But then classic TV shows like Batman, Unsolved Mysteries, Lost in Space, the original, Third Rock, Hell's Kitchen. There's a really good collection of classic movies, more modern stuff like Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, more modern in here, right next to the stuff from probably your childhood here with Lost in Space. So check out the Roku channel. All right, let's keep on moving along. Next up is CBS News. Now, if you've watched any of these videos, you know I recommend having at least one news channel on here, because you never know. Big news happens around the world all the time. It's kind of nice to have an app like this so you can throw it up there and get live news, whether it be a presidential debate, an earthquake, a hurricane, you never know. But they have a 24/7 one right here. They also have a bunch of different recent stories you can watch. 2 minutes ago, there you go, it was a 1 minute story, excuse me. They also have down here different versions of this, so you can watch a CBS Local, a Sports 24/7 one, an ET Live, which does nothing but cover the world of entertainment news, celebrity news, and more, which is pretty cool. They also have a sports version of this app, which is focused exclusively on sports, a people version focused on people. They're from CBS. It's a really good free 24/7 live news app to check out. Next up is Pluto TV. This is one that probably, whenever I ask our readers what do they think is the best free streaming service, this one seems to always come up. Not only does it have a selection of on-demand movies and TV shows, it also has live linear channels here. Some of this is curated, some of it really is free live, and it does a really good job. You can see here, you know, MAP has Storage War Marathon going on right now. They have Pluto Sports with a bunch of different sports ones on here. Tons of movie channels included with it, for you never know what's going to be on there. Let's keep on going. So news, again, CBS News is included in this, so is Cheddar, NBC News. Now, CBS News is live, Cheddar is live most of the day, but like NBC News is not necessarily live. What they do is they take a collection of the recent news videos from NBC and MSNBC, curate it in there. So it's stuff that happened today, different interviews, and more. They got a lot of other Newsmax, Sky News, Bloomberg, Sports, Fox Sports, again, not live feed of the Fox Sports channel, but replays like of today's The Herd broadcasts and more, all put right here for free on Pluto TV. Of course, they also have free movies and TV shows here. You can see The Ides of March, Dust Boot, I hope I said that right, apologize. The Blair Witch Project, and more. All 100% free, streaming with ads through your Roku. A very similar app is the Zoom, XUMO app on your Roku, or your Roku channels, I should say. Has very similar layout, but some of the times you'll find that Pluto TV and Zoom have the same kind of content. They both have like the MSNBC, the Bloomberg channels. But then you'll find ones that are exclusive. I don't think Law and Crime is on Pluto TV. I may be wrong on that. But there are quite a few here that aren't. USA Today and more. And again, they also have their own collection of movies and TV shows free streaming on here. Now, their collection is very different. So it doesn't hurt to have both, even though there is a good amount of overlap, because they have different content on both of them. So this is the Zoom one. If you've looked at it in the past, you will notice that it's very different. They also recently did a big update on the look of this, where it was in the past just tiles and you'd pick that. Now it's more of a traditional grid guide. You can see what's coming up next and what's live now. All right, let's keep moving along. Next up is Nosey. Maybe this is your child. Maybe that you just remember watching daytime TV in the late 90s, early 2000s, even some 80s content here. But they take some of the best of that and put it all in one spot here. So you got stuff like Murray, Steve Wilco, Jerry Springer on here. You even have court programs like Judge Alex and more. Texas Justice. Daytime reality TV program, and I use the word reality maybe a little loosely there. Life's Funniest Moments, The Fifth Wheel, Cheaters, Blind Date is on here. And it really mixes up. You even have a lot of game shows with their partnership with Buzzer, which is an over-the-air TV network. In some markets, well, they have a lot of their stuff here available. Press Your Luck, Card Sharks, The Match Game, Family Feud. If I think of this, this is the 1976 version. They got 2 seasons of it on here. And Press Your Luck, I used to watch this all the time. 1 season in 1983. Not sure how many seasons of Press Your Luck there was, but I always loved that show. So if you're kind of a fan of classic daytime TV, 80s, a little bit 70s with that one, 90s and early 2000s seems to be the biggest part of it right here. So check that out, 100% free also. Next up is Stadium. Are you a sports fan, but you don't want to have ESPN all year round, right? Hey, I love college football. I'll pay for ESPN during college football season. No questions asked, but I'm not going to pay for it when there's not sports I'm going to watch. You know, that's one of the main reasons I get a live TV subscription service during the fall. But with Stadium, they have live events, and they do a really good job with that, but they also have a lot of really great news programs and more. Let's take a look at what the live events are next Saturday. So this is the Saturday before Christmas. You can see a lot of Patriot League stuff, Mountain West. You got some Mountain West men's basketball, Pacific versus Boise State, Penn versus New Mexico. Patriot League games also streaming for free. You got Utah State here versus Long Beach, women's basketball and more. All full games streaming for free. They also have a lot of partnerships with other places. You find a lot of content here. There is a paid version that you can get even more through it, but you don't really need it if you just want to watch it live 24/7. Or, for instance, if you want to say, hey, I want to go in and see, what's happening with the Chicago Bulls recently. Let's take a look here. I can go into recent videos about the Chicago Bulls, their coaching change and some of the player changes they've had recently. Or I can say, I'm more of a ACC fan. So let's see, Clemson's going into the playoffs right now. So let's kind of check out the Clemson news. I can say, take a look at the Cotton Bowl preview, wide receiver matchups, and more right here with Stadium. They do a really good job of live coverage, having a good catalog, live sporting events, and stadium shows. If you're looking for a free version of a lot of similar type program to ESPN, it may not going to have the sports games that ESPN have, but if you're looking for like studio talk shows and the like, Stadium's doing a pretty good job of stepping up their game there. Now, this one is Adult Swim. You're probably saying, Luke, you need a cable subscription for Adult Swim, right? It's not free to use with your Roku. Well, yes and no. There is content that is locked behind cable, but there is a lot that's 100% free with Adult Swim. So they have these marathons that happen all the time. You can get Rick and Morty, Robot Chicken, Venture Brothers, all stream for free. There are archive content where you can watch some with ads. When you do the marathon, it kind of just launches you wherever in that marathon it's happening. It's a live stream. You don't get to pick the episode or anything, but it is free. Of course, if you have a live TV service like Sling or PlayStation View, etc., you can log into Adult Swim and get even more content. But even without that, there's a lot free. And I use this one as an example for a lot of cable networks. They do often have free content included with their paid stuff. So Depending on the network, some will have more, like the CW does everything the next day for free. Other ones, it's mostly locked behind, maybe with a few teaser episodes free. But don't discount checking out things like the Adult Swim channel on Roku, because there is a good amount of 100% free content on there. So check that out. Next up is Tubi. Now, use this one again to represent many other channels out there. We already looked at the Roku channel, but there's also Sony Crackle. Used to be called Crackle, now Sony Crackle. This takes a ton of content, puts it in one spot, ad supported. I would check out both, and it's good quality. If you kind of remember checking out these apps a year or two ago, probably like, man, there's a lot of just stuff I've never heard of on Tubi or Sony Crackle. Now it's really good. Pulp Fiction, The Animal. You've got different categories here: comedy, action, Tears of the Sun, Timeline. These are big blockbuster movies. Escape Plan. With big name stars, TV shows, Duck Dynasty, Simple Life Dog, Merlin. They do a really good job of putting a lot of content here. Hugo, True Grit. These are all things not available right now on Netflix you can watch. School of Rock. There's over 200 of them currently streaming on Pluto, or Tubi, excuse me, not on Netflix. Yours, Mine, Ours. The list goes on what you can get here. Movies and TV shows are included. Now, Sony Crackle has a ton of other ones too. Want to include them, only have so much room here, but they have like Seinfeld episodes. And if you don't have a Hulu subscription, because they have all the Seinfeld, you can watch Sony Crackle and get a selection of Seinfeld episodes 100% free every month. Hey, doing your taxes, clean the house, have some background noise on there with that. So check it out, Sony Crackle, Tubi TV, they're all right there. Next up is Hoopla Digital. They just call it Hoopla here. I'm not logged in for some reason, but Hoopla, and there's another one called Canopy, works with your public library. Now it's 100% free, but you do need an account. What you do is you go to your public library, get your card, it's free, your tax dollars are paying for it. See if they offer Canopy or Hoopla support. Most public libraries seem to offer one or the other. And then you get free, commercial-free movies and TV shows. Now, you are limited in how many you get each month. You usually get a set credits, whether that be 10 or 5. But you can watch 5 movies or 5 TV shows through that, ad-free with your tax dollars. If you go in there, you go on their website, most public libraries will say, hey, we also support Hoopla, we support Canopy. They'll show you how to do it. Basically, you take your identification number from the back of your library card, plug that into their website. They'll verify you are a approved person to access their content and how many tickets you have, and there you go. Now again, Hoopla is not the only way public libraries do that. I would also check out for their DVDs. They have a really good selection of DVDs at many public libraries nowadays, and you're paying for it with your tax dollars. So take advantage of that, what you're getting with your public library if you're a cord cutter. Last today, but not the least, is NewsOn. Now this is a really cool one that takes local news channels from around the world and puts them in a single place. It's not all local channels, but I find most major markets now have one or more. Mine actually has, I think, 3 now. Plus you can view stations from outside. So you can see, the Waco Temple area where I am, the Austin area, kind of general area where I am, and more here. You can see different stations in the areas, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. But if I go up here to all stations, this is where I think NewsOn really stands out. With the recent hurricanes happening around the United States this year, they did a really good job saying, hey, here's a bunch of stations in Florida being impacted by a hurricane. You can watch live and check them out. And often with these, they have the best coverages when it's live and local. So here's the closest stations. You can see this is live. These other ones I can go and say, hey, I'm going to watch an instant replay of this. I'm going to watch a clip from them, which is really great. So watch it on demand if you miss the news when you want to. Or hey, like here, I can say, oh, hurricane in Florida, let's see what's happening. But I grew up in Michigan. And, kind of go see some family for Christmas. Let's go check this out. Oh, look. 2 local stations in my hometown, Grand Rapids, Michigan, are streaming live on here. Let's go check out the CBS one. You can see I can watch the 5 a.m. newscasts. I can get like a weather recap up here, all kinds of stuff. Clips down here, particular news stories. If I'm interested in seeing what's happening back where my parents live, I can say, hey, Battle Creek honors some students. That looks like a pretty cool clip there I can check out. So it really does a nice job of, not all stations have clips, many of them do. They all do offer replays, so if you're taking the kids to gymnastics, ballet, whatever, if you miss the show, you can rewatch it. I love that because I can rarely watch the 6 o'clock news live now. So News On is a great one there. Well, that's the top 10 I wanted to recommend and why I recommended them. I will put links to them down below if you want to add them. Let's go over them real quick one more time. The Roku Channel, free movies, TV shows, and live TV. CBS News is a great free news app. A lot of these like Pluto and Zoom and the Roku Channel also include free news. Pluto TV, Zoom, tons and tons of free content here. Movies, TV shows, all kinds of original programming. Nosey, classic daytime TV for those who just want to watch Blind Date again. Stadium for the sports fans out there is free over there in some markets. Streaming free online also. Adult Swim, again, representing a category of channels here. Check them out. Most cable networks do have a lot of content free, plus the content hidden behind a paywall. Tubi TV, free movies and TV shows. Also check out Sony Crackle. I'll link to both in the show notes. I only have so much space and time here. But ad-supported movies and TV shows, and they've really, let me say this again, really done a good job upping the quality of content on there. If you used them in the past, give them a second try. Hoopla Digital and Canopy, they're both on the Roku. They both work with your public libraries. Each library, one may support one may support the other, and it gives you access to all kinds of digital movies and TV shows, and depending on what your library is, it may also have audiobooks, digital magazines, and more. It's music CDs too, it's to stream online. News On, again, local news nationwide. I love it. When the hurricanes were hitting, I love the ability to see local coverage of it from Florida. That was excellent. So, and it's in most major areas. Alaska, sorry, I think that's the only state they don't. Maybe there's another one. Let me know if I miss a state they don't support. Hopefully another channel there will support it. If they don't support it, also search your Roku. A growing number of local channels have apps on your Roku specifically for that channel. So if News On isn't an option, well, maybe some others will also offer a direct app just for your local station. And it is really nice to get a quick clip of what the weather is, or to watch a replay of a newscast, or stream it live if you missed it. So there you go. I will link to all these in the show notes. If there's one from the Roku Channel store you want to recommend, leave us a comment. Let us know what I should have recommended that I didn't. I would love to hear from you and what you think. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. We're back every month with new lists like this for a variety of different streaming players. We also do weekly Q&As at 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.